Our career journey.
The career journey. Oh yeah. How we got to where we are today.
Yes.
It wasn't an easy journey, by the way, because I'm sure some of the audience that we have here ni wanafunzi wenye wamemaliza form 4 ama wamemaliza campus.
So this is to encourage you guys.
And there's some. If I look back at how the journey that I've gone through all the way up to where I am today. Before I joined campus, after high school, ukimaliza shule tunajua natafuta tule to locums, the locums businesses or the locums to jobs that we usually do. There's one that I did your research. Ilikuwa ni research. Oh my god. Could be walking around with questionnaires, and then mnaenda mnapeana. So there was one about tobacco, the cigarettes, the tobacco one, that they wanted us to go around asking about which particular one do you like, why do you like it. So now in this case we were talking to smokers, right? Then there's another one about juice. It was about juice. I don't know, they were asking which juice do you like, why do you like it. I went to this slum and I was supposed to get, I think there was even one that was given, because the questionnaire was about you need to get views from both the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. Yeah? So this person will tell you where he stays, and then also where they work, and then also the number, which cigarette they like smoking. Then you go to this middle class where they live, where they work, and then there's the other one. So it was inevitable. Like you just had to go to a small area for the doctors. In my mind, I'm going back home and I'm like, seriously, do I have to go through this? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, my friend, this is the life outside. Like, little did I know that I was going to join journalism and we will go
do the same.
Exactly.
That's what I was about to ask. I was going to ask you the same question.
Na niko sawa. And then the other one was selling in a supermarket, the promotion businesses. Then I left. My parents found for me campus, nikaingia campus. Sasa nikiwa campus sasa bado tuna hustle because unajua wenzako pia wanafanya kazi together small nini. Ndio tukaingia kwa promotion ya bread spread, nikaanza kufanya ma voice overs, nikaanza kufanya transcription the transcribing But at the end of the day, now I sit down and look back.
They all groomed you for your career.
Exactly. Campus, I got internship. I did my internship. Then I went back. My internship, I wasn't absorbed immediately. So it was media, an internship at a media house, but they didn't absorb me immediately. So I went back home for I think like 4 months. Election at 2013, nikaambiwa kuja do another internship. So I went for another internship in 2013, and then in 2014 is when now I started working.
What was the job? Officially.
For
me, I started working in 2009. Yeah, 2009, because I completed school in 2008. So during that time when we were completing school, there are these companies who came put posters in our school and said, if you want, after form 4, if you want to work, come to this place and interview. So my first job was at a uniform center in Mombasa. I was selling uniforms. Yes.
Okay.
I was selling uniform. Ironically, my first job was in fashion, in a way. So I was selling uniforms, and I used to work even up until Sunday. Imagine. And
Monday to Sunday.
Exactly.
There's no resting day.
Yes. Apparently, the Hindi had favored me. The Indian man had favored me. That's why I used to work up to Sunday. Because there's a day I picked up money, I gave it back. So most of the time, what he used to do, if he has clients who have big orders, he calls me. So he counts the money and he knows I will not do anything in front of me.
So it means you get a lot of pay.
By the way, the pay didn't increase that much. It only increased by 200 shillings.
Okay.
Yes. So me, my mother told me stop going to that job. I stopped going. So after I stopped going, I got another job. It's a teaching job. I started teaching Form 3 and Form 4. And then those students were saying me like as if I'm their age, but I'm Katai. Then they're saying, Madam Rua, but you're so small. You can be our friend. And then I said, this is too much for me. So I had already decided that I wanted to do journalism from the get-go. So my mom tells me, no, go to Nairobi, get your application form, apply. So I came and applied. And then I got called, I came to school in the same 2009. So I I took classes, but I never did any jobs while in campus because, okay, I just did volunteer work and all that. My first internship, I worked the first 2 weeks in Nairobi, the rest of the weeks Laikipia West.
Wow.
So
Happy.
excited and happy.
Looking forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because me, I love adventure.
The traveling and
Yes.
adventure, yes.
So I went that day boarding a matatu to Laikipia. Nakwambia nilipanda gari asubuhi saa 12. By the time it's leaving, I think it was 1 p.m. Nisile gari unakaa unangoja ije. And then you see the matatu here at the back, they open the boot. They put the goats and the chicken underneath there. So the goats, if you're sitting at the back, the goats keep on kicking you at the back. So I used to avoid those seats. And then that smell. And then people are talking language I do not understand. Only a small town had electricity. The rest of the people were using, but the good thing where I was living, they were using solar. But I had to charge my phone during the day so that at night I have power. Stima ikipotea, in the town center, kuna stima in the whole on the whole of that area. And then after that, I came back, graduated, and then my second internship, I did it at a media house. So for 3 months I was there. The same year, I didn't get retained. Then I went back. I worked with them again, but then it was contract. Then the contract ended. Then after that, now the following year, I joined theater. I did research, I did script writing, I was even acting on stage. 2013, I got a job in production. Because 2011, that's why I did all those internships.
Yeah.
2013, I got a job in production. I worked in production for a whole year. It was tiresome, but hey, I enjoyed it. Then 2014, I left the country. I got a correspondent job outside the country. When I went there, I happened to be the only African.
Wow.
Yes.
That's really
in the whole company. I used to be the only African. Imagine you're sitting in a table discussing about production, having a production meeting, you're the only African.
Representing Africa.
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
Yes. So most of the time I used to produce African shows, do voiceovers, do reporting for them. Then after that, I came to Kenya to work for them. I worked for 2 years for them while in Kenya as a correspondent. Then in 2016, that's when I joined pageantry. Yes.
I'm sure there are challenges that you faced even as you tried to make your way up.
Yes, there are so many challenges that I faced because I remember, let me start from being, first of all, when I went to Laikipia, there was the language barrier. And then when I joined theater, there's that aspect of, when you join theater girls are like this. So you have that image that you have to maintain. It's the same when it comes to production, because in production you have to prove your worth even as a woman. The same even in journalism, as in you have to prove yourself constantly, every day. If you're writing a story, if you're reporting a story, it's the same thing. And even in fashion, and in modeling, fighting each other is the worst. Because I won the pageantry, but other models felt I didn't deserve it. And I was new in the modeling industry. I had just been invited to come compete. By the way, I hadn't gone to win, but I had gone to enjoy myself. Because when I was saying I'm coming to enjoy myself, I go back to my journalism. So, but then it became a learning curve. For me, I'd say the best time I had in my career, while in my 20s, let's say, was when I was in the Philippines. Because as much as I was the only African, I didn't see much of discrimination. I saw a lot of encouragement.
And teamwork.
We didn't have a specific dress code, in that media house. People come to the office in sandals, and some people used to come in vests. So what happened is, there was the visa renewal office, there was a note they had written, no coming in, there was a picture, no coming in vests, in shorts, in sandals. So there are pictures being drawn there because they know people normally do that. Yes. When I left the fashion media company and I came to Kenya to start covering, now I started seeing the discrimination within our own industry, because they're wondering, who are you? Where did you come from? Because when I was in the head office and I was talking to them, trying to get their stories, they were very welcoming. But the moment I came down here, they start looking at you like sideways, like So for me, I have gone through all that. It has shaped me, the fact that I am aware, and all the time my wits are like this. So I've seen a lot, but with all that, at the same time, I will still want to do more for the industry, because I've realized that there are different stories I could tell as a journalist. There are different stories I could produce as a producer. There are different there are different designs I could design as a fashion designer, and there are different pageantries I could bring up. But at the same time, all those revolve at the same time around finances. Yes, altogether you have to find your finances before you approach people, because that's how it works in Kenya. No matter how you apply for something, I don't know what's wrong with us Kenyans, because even
it's the support system that we just spoke about, the mentorship thing, the support system that we all need. Much as we are startups, you want to start something and all that, you need the finances, you need the mentorship, you need.
But in Kenya, most of the time people come and hold your hands when you've already made it. I have a problem with that. Hold our hands when people are still down. Yes. And for you, how have your struggles shaped you?
So for me, I think for some reason, I don't know if I matured early. I don't know if it's because of what I've gone through. I don't know, but for some reason, I didn't have a hard time, and I would not go through a situation that someone says no to me and I feel bad. For some reason, I just came to understand that, okay, yeah, you say no, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'll just find somewhere else for some. So after my internship, even the jobs that I used to do, it wasn't so bad. Only part that I had issues with is when I joined the media industry. I don't know what happened with my boss. I don't know how it all went down, but it came to a point now I was told, Kamche, hapa ndio tunakufanya nini? Kazi yako itaishia. I had come from the field to do my work, but this letter came as Kamche having absconded duty. So she needs to be, whatever has to be terminated. So I was given that letter. I tried to talk to the HR to tell them that what happened is that and they were like, no, the decision has already been made. You have to go. I am yet to figure out what exactly happened or what wrong thing that I did to warrant that kind of termination. But altogether, I say, if someone closes this door,
another
God has
open.
No, it's not one. Like they are lined up like this. God just wants you to accept the situation and say, you know what, God, this is what you have planned for me. Let me just accept it. I know you have another door open for me. And once that door is ready, then you will let me in. So I cried that night. I cried. I called my mom. I called my dad. I called my sister. So my mom told me, Nisawa. At that time I was still staying with my aunt. My mom told me, so do you think there's something else you can find to do in Nairobi? Or you will come back to Mombasa, you try to find something this end? I told her, okay, let me just stick around. Because I have made some few contacts. I'll try to contact them and see if they can take me. I stayed, I think, for a number of months, 3 months, but there was nothing.
We normally do, and then finally you just realize nothing.
And then at that time, I think you're usually still sort of not in denial. But you just can't accept. You just keep thinking about that whole thing. I went to Mombasa. I joined a certain newspaper, a local newspaper, not too local, but it was local because it's not the mainstream media. So I tried to write for them, kidogo kidogo, kwenda to my press conferences, just like I used to do, even when I was in the other media house, Ivo too, until it got to a point, nikapigiwa simu na, my sister, she has a client, and she told me, by the way, there's a client who, at their office, they're looking for these people. So I was like, oh really? And I'm like, yes. So I was like, okay, so what do I do? She told me, apply. I did my application. Fortunately, I was called. They interviewed me. So fortunately, I got that job and I did my work. I did my work so very well. So that was in car importation. I did because it was around 2017 to around 2019. Then there was auditions at KBC. We came for the auditions and we were many of us. I think we were
I was there for that interview.
You were there for that audition?
I was there for that auditions.
We were many because I remember
you send your CVs and then they tell you you've been shortlisted.
And then when you come, we were so many of us. You know, I looked at, because you remember I think I remember I came for, yes, we were in the field. There's that hotel that's opposite KBC. Yes. We were in that field because they were telling us to do a screen test. First of all, they put us in a room. Screen test was way much later.
In the afternoon, in the morning, they told us to write a story. Write it in the morning. And then in the afternoon, they give you a script.
You go record. Then there was another one
in the
field, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So we did, and we were many. During my time when we went, I went with another chick, media. We were told, I think that time we were, 800. And then someone told me, unashangaa you are many, and yesterday we had 1,500.
Yes, they had that. So they were dividing us. We were so many, but they were dividing us into groups. And then because we couldn't enter that, because there was that room when we were doing written, we couldn't all enter together. So there was the first lot that had to enter and then the second one, and then like that. The same with the cameras recording.
Oh yes. So after that audition, then there was another interview. I think it's the
screen test,
screen test, then the oral and everything. So then later after that, nikarudi kwa kazi yangu. Later is when I got a call kwamba, oh, you've qualified for this job, then come. And I was like, thank you God, I am going back to the media industry. Yes. And that time I had auditioned for what? Because the job was anchor come reporter, so I was happy. I was like, wow.
You're going back to
initially I was doing only reporting, yes. So now there's this anchoring, another challenge that I'm taking up. I was like, I'm looking forward to this job. So up until now, bado niko KBC. Then kidogo bado kumbuka tunaenda yale maeneo ya the lawmakers.
Talking of lawmakers,
stay there.
In 2017, I didn't say, in 2017 I was part of our communications team during the campaign trail. For one prominent politician in Mombasa County. Mama, tulienda slums, tulifukuzwa mbio. Acha nikwambie, we have gone through. So me, I'm covering the campaign trail. So I'm taking pictures, I'm taking videos at the same time. So, and then they start being rowdy, they start chasing us. The first priority is of who? Mheshimiwa.
Number one.
So you know what happened? I ran with my camera to the nearest house that was gated to Hagiapo, and we are like this. I wasn't even shaking. I was afraid my camera being stolen. Okay, but still my cameras. So I'm there, I'm thinking, hey, but maybe my job, these are some of the
You remind me of while I was still in the previous job. So we were sent to cover riots. So tukaambiwa kimbieni kuna barabara huko imefungwa. So we left with our camera person, the car. Fika huko. Security nao wako hapo hivyo. Kidogo we were told, you know what? Nyinyi waandishi wa habari ndio mnafanya hawa watu mnapatia morale. You know the way when you're covering them,
exactly.
Like, yes, we can be seen out of the
yes, that happens actually. Yes, when they see a person holding a camera.
So security wakatuambia, unajua nini? You are the guys who are making these people, not even to stop. Can you help us remove now the stones? They had barricaded the road. I was holding my microphone like this. I'm like, seriously, this is power in my hand. Like this microphone is my power in my hand. All of us, my camera person, myself, I think the driver, other guys, we were like this picking stones and removing them from the road and keeping them aside. So I went back home, I was like, what was that? So
here's the thing. Here's the funny part for me. This is a beauty pageant. I'm covering them right now. You have removed your heels, You're in sports shoes. You're being chased around. If someone saw me, they wouldn't believe. And then at the same person who was from covering high fashion, because when I was working at a fashion house, I was covering high fashion and all that, and I was doing this. But at the same time, you know what this teaches me? It teaches me to be humble and to toughen up.
Yeah.
That is what I can say. So in life, let's be humble, let's toughen up. You never know, there's today and there's tomorrow. So basically, those are the career journey that we went through. So don't give up. You will get to where you want to get to. The career you choose, for us, we chose journalism. So that's our life.
That's our life. But what I will tell people is, of course, lazima kuna kupanda na kushuka, kuna milima na mabonde.
Exactly.
It's not a smooth.
It's not a smooth path.
It's not a smooth path. Lazima, one thing you have to tell yourself is, at any time that you're going through a challenge, is that
there's a better tomorrow.
There's a better tomorrow, and this is just a tunnel. At the end of it, there is light. And by the way, chunguza, once you are done with that particular challenge that you are calling it a challenge or award, ukichunguza, once you are done with it, ama umesha overcome, it will have taught you a certain lesson that prepare on for your next for your next, if it's a kama ni
the next journey could be personal or career wise.
Yeah. For your next step in that career, utakuta kwamba you are learning something from this particular challenge that umepitia hapa. So just take it positive and songa mbele nayo tu vizuri.
Once again, happy
2024.
See you next time for the next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, don't forget, subscribe and follow our social media handles.
And share.
Send it.